Steve Ohlund. I was a third-class petty officer. I was an aviation bosun's mate, fuels, aboard the USS Coral Sea. I was in the Navy from 1980 to 1984. I went through boot camp at Great Lakes Naval Training. From Great Lakes, I went on to my gosh, I went on to Lakehurst, New Jersey. That's where I got my aviation fuels technician training. We were taught how to purify fuel, how different types of fuel is made, other than what you would think, that it just comes out of a pump. What additives we would add to the different types of fuel to do different types of things with the different aircraft, the different machinery and equipment that we used it for. After leaving Lakehurst, New Jersey, I went on to Alameda, California. That's where I met up with the USS Coral Sea when they came into port. I spent 3.5 years on the Coral Sea. When I got on the Coral Sea, I worked on the flight deck and I worked below decks. I worked in the lab, the pump room, the filter room, and of course the flight deck. I worked flight deck control, where you take care of the fueling of every jet on the ship. Sometimes on the flight deck it could get pretty scary. Not everything went as planned. It had its moments, and some of it was totally unbelievable. I've watched jets crash. I watched people die. Not all of it was glamour, not all of it was good, but we did what we had to do, and we served our country to the best we could. In my 3.5 years on the Coral Sea, we had conflicts with Iran, Libya, and the Grenada. Like I said, not all of it was fun. And I got to see a lot of countries that I would have never got to see in a lifetime. The one thing that was really nice about it is getting around to all the different countries and seeing all the people from different countries that you normally would never get to see. I've been to Hawaii 5 times. I've been to Korea. I've been to Japan. I've been to Singapore. I've been to the Philippines. I've been to Italy. I've been to France. We stopped in Spain for one day to find out we were going to Grenada.
Yeah.
So that was that. But seeing how other people live, you really get to see how great you really have it in this country. Out of every country I've ever been to, the United States is by far the best. So,
we have a couple questions about Veterans Day, and then we'll let you talk about whatever you want beyond that. But what does Veterans Day mean to you?
Veterans Day to me, it's about honoring everybody that wore the uniform and that walked out an honorable discharged veteran. not all veterans left the military with an honorable discharge, and only the great ones did, in my eyes.
And what would you like for our students and our community members to know about Veterans Day or about service in general?
Service in general, when you get out of high school, if you don't have a plan, join the military. It's not for everybody, but for the ones that it is for, it is a great place. I got out after 4 years, and personally, if it wouldn't have been because of medical problems, I would have been a lifer. I absolutely loved the Navy. I love the Navy life. You know, like I said, you get to see things that you would normally never get to see in your lifetime. And not everybody gets to see all them places. You know, I was a young kid, and how many kids at the age of 22, 23 years old gets out of the military and can say they've been to all these different countries and didn't cost them a dime to go. So it was really fantastic.
We're doing our typical Veterans Day service virtually. And in the past, we've had students speak and read stuff, and we've had adults speak and talk about things. Is there anything you want our students to know about Veterans Day that maybe they don't get from a typical ceremony or from sitting in class or anything like that?
Don't forget the fallen. Some of us, we gave a little,
Yeah.
but the fallen gave it all. Don't forget them. Never forget them.
Is there anything else you want to tell us about with your service or anything? It sounds like you traveled quite a bit.
Yes.
And saw a lot of different theaters.
We got to see, you know, some pretty cool countries. You know, while I was in, Star Wars just came out with one of their new editions, and we're in Singapore. And it was pretty funny because me and my buddies, we decided to go see Star Wars, you know, and this was back in 1983, and it just came out, this new movie that, you know, I can't remember how many it was, but it just came out, and we're sitting in the theater in a country that does not speak English, one bit of English. And the movie starts, and it's in English, and it's subtitled in their language. And we were probably the only ones in the movie theater. Me and my three buddies were the ones that could understand everything that was being said. It was all right, but we've seen a lot of cultures that were pretty cool. If any of you get a chance to go to the French Riviera, it was pretty neat.
Yeah.
It was nice.
You said you spent some time in Asia and Europe.
Yep.
You got to visit South America as part of
Yep.
the Grenada.
Yeah, that South America wasn't a pleasure trip.
Yeah.
We did not get off the ship. We were involved in the bombing of Grenada, and that wasn't a fun time. It wasn't one of my more favorite
Yeah.
moments of the military after the fact.
Yeah. But you got a chance to visit, like you said, a lot of different places.
Yes.
What was your favorite of those?
My favorite stop was Cannes, France.
Okay.
My least favorite, Sasebo, Japan.
Yeah.
Didn't care for it,
Yeah.
but that was that.
Did you get a chance to use your Navy training in your profession after leaving the Navy?
No, not as a job, but getting into the hot rods and the racing. While being in the Navy, we would mix our own fuel so that when we went to the drag strip, our cars would run like nobody else's, and a lot of that was before street cars ever got into mixing fuels and stuff like that. A lot of us, we ran avgas in our cars, so that was fun.
Yeah. Anything else you want to talk with us about?
In my 4 years, you know, I don't regret anything but one day. And that was the day I broke my back and my neck and all my ribs on my right side. Other than that, the military was very good to me. So I enjoyed it.
Awesome. Well, thank you. We appreciate it.